again. How the heck are you? I just couldn't leave this topic of accountability alone, so I thought I'd do a quickie. And we just got back from the Renaissance Fair, and I got this T-shirt with a guy with a beard, and I'm trying to grow my winter beard, and by summer it ain't gonna get as long as this guy's. But at any rate, accountability, that can be in a beliefs, political posturing, appearances, client representation, racial posturing, truth and opinion and deception, painting a picture, biased or unbiased. So I thought I'd cover a few things because we want everybody to be accountable as possible, me included. So I remember I saw this girl on The View. It's a TV show where they give opinions. And she said something about all these profits being made on or off the backs of black people in prison. So I don't know how much profit's being made. I mean, prisons cost the taxpayers money. I'm sure taxpayers don't want to, spend money for prisons, but unfortunately, we do. And now there are companies that are privatized that may serve food and other things, and maybe they're getting more money than they should, like Halliburton got more money than they should for things like war. But, things get privatized, people try to make money. And then some of these companies, maybe there's every race, creed, and color that work for it. Everybody likes to have work. But I don't think the taxpayers want anybody in jail. We'd like to have almost nobody in jail, black, white, or any color. And then another TV host said that slavery is still legal and in use in some states, even though it's just for criminals that are in prison. And, they're getting free room and board, which I don't think is such a bad deal. And I don't know, maybe we got to wipe their butts and give them breakfast in bed. I think working is great. People should work, whether you're in prison or not in prison. And if you're in prison and you're not such a hardened criminal that you're going to grab something out of the machinery and kill the guards, maybe you can work on something that'll give you, the ability to have a good job when you get out. So I think work in prison is a great idea. So I can't agree with that TV host. And then there was a black preacher that kind of eviscerated or whatever the reputation of this white kid for rape of a black girl. And then when they found out the whole thing was fabricated, he didn't even say sorry, which is fine. But it could go the other way too, I'm sure. But anyway, in that case, he's still supposedly a respected guy. But then we got this one black lawyer who got millions of dollars for a mother of this big, powerful 300-pound kid. And he shoved the Asian shopkeeper to the ground, stole the cigars, walks out down the street on the middle of the road, and then when the cop in this car says, "Hey, can you get out of the middle of the road?" He kind of goes in and he's just got an attitude, and he's going to wrestle and fight this cop and show him who's boss and steal his gun, and he gets shot in the head. And of course, the lawyer says, "Well, I don't know, he must have been 10 feet away. He'd still got powder burns on his hands." But anyhow, it's not possible. But anyway, just to keep race relations good, I guess. That didn't really help race relations. Something that's not true and then all the looting and crap before anybody. And the guy was, the people said it wasn't even worth taking him to court, with all the way the evidence went. So why would we need to bring the National Guard out for that? It's crazy. But and there was a church killing, and that guy's on death row. He was a white supremacist. So we got to call a spade a spade. There are some nasty people. There's nasty people in the 1920s in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and there was, and then that kid Tillman. I hope it doesn't create more tension, but those people were just downright nasty, they're not godly people. They shouldn't even have, been born. It seems like hate of that magnitude and that deep, and it's not good. So, but the thing is, at least let's try to keep things real. So anyway, um, then yeah, so that white supremacist kid was on death row. So we got to teach everybody accountability. Like the wise ass girl that's a spoiled kid should probably learn accountability too. And it's just on TV. She was just a total jerk, and this black girl was just like, my wife said if she would have been her, she would have probably punched the white girl out. But we got to be able to put each other in others' shoes, and there's different kinds of heroes. The guy that is a boxer and is a world champion, is he more of a hero than the guy that's a paraplegic without arms and legs, that if any one of us was put in his position would be saying, oh my God, I hate you, God, you screwed me over, when this kid is, surviving day to day and got past that bad attitude. And there's just people that are way up there that are so impressive, whether what their situation is. If it's a crappy situation, they come out pretty good and with a decent attitude. So the that's so then I was thinking, even in religion and stuff, on the worst day of Jesus's life, he knows where he's gonna get crucified. And then he just says, oh, I just want a nice juicy fig and, something positive before I kind of take on all this crap that he's got to take on. And the tree didn't have anything. It didn't bear any fruit. So he kind of got pissed, and then that tree withered. So we don't want to wither. We're a country that we should produce fruit and have each other's backs, I think, no matter who we are. And so teaching accountability would matter. So when you're thinking of things like Jesus, here we got some supposed Christians like King Ferdinand and Isabella, that's just 400 or 500 years ago. They're burning, Jews and also Islamic folks and on the stake, what the hell? Jesus didn't get himself, nailed to the cross for that crap. So obviously, I wouldn't want to be on their shoes on the other side. If you believe in anything, and of course, there's going to be even an atheist sitting at the head of the table that didn't ask to survive past the physical life. And, and still, if he has goodwill to others, what do you think's going to happen? So anyway, we also have that some of the Jews in Israel are becoming more like the Nazis, in Germany, bombing buildings, they says, oh, you got an hour to get out, and then shooting, press agents and stuff that are just trying to find things out. So, it's we got to get it more of a even support. We don't want to support people that are becoming what they were trying to get away from. There's been a lot of genocides, and so maybe we should give the West Bank Iron Dome so that their kids can not be bombed. Because every time something happens, the Palestinians always get more people killed. So like I said, like the Holodomor, we don't know whether that was 1/3 or double the size of the Holocaust. Anything like that's awful. Whether it's the Armenian genocide or the Rwandan, it's just not good. People got to love each other, more, and take the chance that even though your grandparents or parents are fighting, maybe, it's kind of like I remember that Bosnian War, the Romeo and Juliet. They're on the bridge, the only two people that had any sanity in those two countries, it seems, and they get killed. But they, are willing to cross the bridge for each other. And all of us, whether there's a chance that's not so good, we should need to try to cross that bridge. And, in most of our lives, it isn't so dramatic. So even in our own little way, hopefully each of us can try to cross that bridge. Thanks for your time. Bye.